You know, I've been thinking recently about loneliness. I think it's always, with winter coming and September's here and then it's going to get autumnal, and then you think, gosh, do I have anyone to be with? And people anymore, I think far too much about loneliness, that it's a bad thing. And I don't, because I think loneliness is like a twin. I look at it this way. I was born an only child, which means I have no siblings. My mother was killed by a car when I was 19, and I had already moved from home because the father was abusive. And so I've cultivated a personality where I accept loneliness as part of the deal. I think when people say, are you happy? And I'm asked this a lot. I'd say not necessarily. I always use the word content. I'd rather be content, because happiness to me, it just isn't me. I keep thinking, what is happiness? And people think you always should be happy. It's like this dreadful thing people ask you in the street anymore. You're walking down the street and I see one of my neighbors here and they say, is everything good? This is the new hello, And I always say, no, everything's not good. How could things possibly be good today in the world we're living in? And people, oh my God, what, she's being serious here. But if everything was good all the time, you wouldn't know what bad is, and you wouldn't know how to appreciate something really, really wonderful. And generally, when I am happy, I'm happy for other people. As silly as it is, when someone I love, like for example, okay, we're not plugging this musical, but I'm just giving you an example. When at this year's Tonys, the band's visit won everything. I was sublimely happy, just because I think it deserved it, and in another year it wouldn't have gotten anything because it's too subtle. So that was the last time I was happy. So that's called June. Am I unhappy? No. But I'd rather try to be in the moment, either feeling loneliness, who is like a twin brother to me, and realizing we walk together. I'm not destroyed by loneliness. And I think people should accept it instead of going to social media and putting thousands of pictures of oneself on it, or constantly being on Facebook. Now, Alice Carey changes her picture and so-and-so changes the picture. This is nonsense. If I'm lonely or I feel bad, this is New York. It also could be in London or Chicago or any place. I walk out, and sometimes I see somebody walking a dog and I talk to the dog. My God, that stops loneliness instantly. I go into a magazine shop and I pick up some foreign magazine that costs $20, and you know the ones I mean, a lot of the fashion ones are like that. And I look at that for 5 minutes. I may treat myself to a chocolate. I like chocolate here in Greenwich Village. I'll buy a chocolate. Or I just go to a movie, or I sit down and I write, because that is what I do. And loneliness does not stop creativity. In fact, loneliness can spur creativity. And I think follow your loneliness. That's what I'd say.